Morning everyone. So in the last class we were discussing about the operating system services. So we are again starting from there only. I am just going to remind you all the operating system services because it's a very important topic. Uh, from here, whenever we are talking about operating system services, we must have the idea about these things. Then hardware is the thing, basic feature of the system. Then above that hardware, we are installing our operating system. Then operating system will include so many uh, programs, or you can say processes, which are running inside the system at all the times. Whenever you are starting your operating system, you can check your RAM. If your RAM is of 4 GB, only 2 GB or 2.5 GB will be available for you. 1 GB, 2 GB is around will be stuck by these particular services which are provided by the operating system itself. So these services are always running in your system. What are these services? Program execution, IO operation, file system, communication, resource allocation, accounting, error detection, production and security. We will discuss all of these one by one. Okay. Then how you are using these services, how you can use these services, these features from the operating system. For using these services, system or operating system is providing you some system calls. System calls are nothing but the names of the packages, the functions, the inbuilt function of the operating system. Those functions will be given to you. Using that functions, you can avail any service from these. Here we have mentioned these 8 services. There are some more services also, but major services are these 8. So using the system calls, you can use these services. For using the system call, where you can use your system call? Suppose you are having your functions, function name are there. How can you use that function? There should be some kind of user interface where you can perform your system call, where you can execute your system calls. I am giving you some scenario. Suppose we are having a function printf get ch in C language. You know that whenever you are using your printf command, it will print something for you on the output screen. That is well enough, well known to you. So what is printf? Printf is a system call, you can say, in terms of programming language. That is not a system call. That is a function for the C programming language only. System call means the function that is running directly with the operating system. No separate compiler is required. So I am asking you take the example of printf. Now printf will be using one of these services for printing purposes, for writing anything to your output screen. But where can you use printf? You cannot use directly printf anywhere. You cannot write printf in Paint. You cannot write printf in Notepad. There is separate space for writing a printf command, and there is also a syntax involved there. How you are going to use the printf command? So here the concept of user interface comes. So we are giving you a platform where you can write a C code in which you can use printf command. Then only you will be able to use the printf command. Otherwise, you cannot write printf anywhere and it will not print anything to you. After the user interface, the end user is there. You will be using the GUI. Using that GUI, you are using system call. Using the system call, you are indirectly using accessing the features of this operating system, or you can say the services of the operating system. Then these services will be working and will be touching the hardware part. It will directly be connected with the hardware, so you can perform any kind of task using your hardware. Hardware may include your CPU, memory, or any other IO device, printer, scanner, keyboard, monitor, anything. Okay. So if you are having any doubt, you may raise your hand anytime. User operating system interface. First, we are going to discuss the topic, that is user interface. User interface is nothing but whatever you can see when you are switching on your system is the user interface. Whatever user can see is the user area. So different types of user interfaces are there in different operating systems. What are these? CLI, that is command line interpreter, allows direct command entry. GUI, graphical user interface, touch screen, and then batch. There are four different types of user interfaces are there in different types of operating systems. First, we are discussing CLI, that is command line interface. Command line is very basic operating system. You can say it's a something like DOS based system, where you will be using the direct commands. You are writing the command cd for change directory, md for make directory. There are so many commands you can use in the command line interface. Sometimes implemented in kernel, sometimes by system program. There are two types of command line interfaces. First, directly interacting with the kernel part. Second one, it's a normal program like a paint program. Nowadays you are using Windows. In Windows, can you see the command prompt? Is there any command prompt or not? Yes, it is there. Uh, in run, you can type CMD, then command prompt will open. There you can do any kind of task. So we can say in your Windows operating system that CLI is inbuilt as a normal program, like a paint, like application. Okay, so whenever we are talking about DOS system, there we are having command prompt is the essential thing, and it is directly using the kernel part. Sometimes multiple flavors implemented that are known as shells. Shell programming is also there. Shell programming means suppose you are having 3 4 different types of command: cd, md, uh, then copy, then make. There are so many commands. You are combining all these in a box and naming it with some other, like you're calling it ABC. It's a package. Whenever you are running this ABC, all the uh, instructions, all the commands will be executed simultaneously in the order whatever you have written. So it is called a shell. Whenever you are making a package for these commands, it will be known as this shell. You can say it's a shell programming. In a shell, though there are so many commands in the same package, primarily fetches a command from user and executes it. Whenever you are writing any command, and it will execute that command. Sometimes commands built in, sometimes just names of the program. 1 second. Okay, sometimes commands are built in, sometimes just name of the program. What are the meaning of this built-in command and the name of program? I'm again telling you, we are talking about the command prompt. It's an operating system we are talking about, which is completely depend on the command prompt. You are nothing like you are having no drive, no partitions, no folder view, no images, nothing. You can't play any video at all. It's a normal command prompt. So there you can write any kind of command like cd copy, or you can type the name of the program. Like using command prompt, you can run your Java code or a C code. For that, you must have to write that program name. Let's say ABC. Then the extension of that file. Let's say Java. You can run your program like this. Either you can directly give the command, or you may write the name of the program and it will execute for you. If the latter, if the name of the program you are giving, adding new features doesn't require shell modification. You can use this and it will be working as a shell. Because in that Java code, there are so many commands you must be using in that program. That is the basic operating system, that is command line interface. It's a snapshot for the command line interface, where in Linux also there are, you can use the command prompt. So like this, you can use your different commands. Here we are using the different commands. Okay. Then graphical user interface. User interface now we can see in Ubuntu, in Windows, in Macintosh. Windows is the major example of the graphical user interface, where you can see everything graphically. Everything is visible to you graphically. You can directly double click on any icon for executing purposes. You are able to right click on particular program and you can do any kind of task. You can even copy with the help of graphical user interface. You are not writing any type of code for copying this file to any other location. You are directly right clicking on any icon, you are clicking the copy, and where you want to paste, you are going there in that location, you are right clicking again, you are pasting that particular file. That is the role of the graphical user interface. It's a user-friendly desktop metaphor interface. Usually mouse, keyboard and monitor will be there. Icons represent files, programs, actions, etc. There will be, you will be using the icons. Icons for everything will be there, like for any different files. If you are talking about video file, there should be some different type of icon. If you are using audio file, then you will be using some different icon. If you are using a PDF file, then some icon will be different. For different icons, you can use different type of, recognize the different type of files, different type of program it is, and different type of actions. Why? Whenever you are double clicking on a PDF file, it will be open in some PDF editor, PDF opener. If you are double clicking on the video file, it will be opening in some different type of uh, interface. Then various mouse buttons over objects in the interface cause various actions, provide information, options, execute functions, open directory known as folder and all. If you are right clicking on any folder, any particular file, it will give you different type of options. You can rename this file, you can copy that file, you can delete that file, you can change the name of the author, you can check the properties, you can check the size. There are so many operations you can perform by right clicking or just taking your mouse to that particular icon. It is invented by Xerox PARC. Many systems now include both CLI and GUI interfaces. Nowadays, whatever operating system you are using, there will be a GUI and there will be also be a CLI, command line interface. If you are using Windows, then you will be using command prompt as a system program. If you are using Ubuntu or Red Hat, you will be having another type of command prompt you can use there only. Microsoft Windows is GUI and CLI command shell. In CLI, you can use command shells also. In Windows, Apple Mac OS is Aqua GUI interface with Unix kernel. Unix and Linux have CLI with optional GUI interface, CD, KDE, and GNOME. There are different names in the different type of operating systems. So we should know what is the difference between a GUI and a CLI. CLI means you are nothing with the iconic representation. In GUI, everything is visible to you. You can use your mouse and you can do any kind of task with the help of graphics. Then we are having touch screen interfaces nowadays. Touch screen interfaces where you can perform the different type of touches on the different icons. By long pressing on any icon, you can uninstall that particular thing. You can check the info. You can do any kind of different task. If you are clicking on the call button, some different process will be starting, and what the you are going to get in the next screen will be totally dependent upon how you are clicking that phone button. It's a long press, it's a short press, or you are swiping it. Touchscreen device require new interfaces. Mouse not possible or not desired. Actions and selection based on the gestures. Gestures are also there. Virtual keyboard for text entry will be there. And nowadays we are also using the voice commands. Using voice commands, you can open or close any kind of icon. You can do different type of tasks in your mobile device. In your textbook, touch screen interfaces will not be there because your textbook was written in 90s. That's why these slides are little bit new with respect to your operating system book. Then we are having the Mac OS GUI, that is not that much important. But again, uh, some of you might be using this Mac also. In your Mac,
मम्मी
So there are different type of GUI you can see here. Now talking about the system calls, it's the another role, another part of the system, how you are accessing the different services of the operating system. That's why we need to discuss these system calls. I know this is little boring part because it's a theoretical one and you have to remember some of the system calls. Someone has unmuted. Everyone is required to mute. Now, programming interface to the services provided by the operating system. It's a programming interface to the services, typically written in a high-level language, C or C++. It is okay. System call, I am giving you some brief like power of power off is a kind of system call. Using the system call, your system will be shutting down. You are not required to know the internal working of this power off. Power off will be executing so many internal commands to switch off your system. Why so many commands will be required? Because mm, there might be a case that you are running some other processes also in your system. All those processes have to be terminated before switching off your system. This power off command will be terminating all your running processes. Then only it will direct you to the powering off, shutting down. So it is written in the C or C++ language. It's written in high level language, mostly accessed by programs via high level application programming interface rather than direct system call use. Generally, so many operating systems are there where you can use these system calls in your programming languages. You cannot write these system calls in your notepad in everywhere. Generally, you can use the system calls in your programming languages with the help of different programming experts. If you are using a Java code, .NET code, or C code, you can write your system calls in between your code. Three most common APIs are Windows 32 API for Windows, POSIX API for POSIX-based systems, including virtually all versions of Unix, Linux, and Macintosh, and Java API for the Java virtual machine. There are different types of API who will be using these system calls for you. Note that the system call names used throughout this text are generic. System call names means whenever we will be using some kind of system call, that will be a normal system call you cannot use directly within any system. Suppose you are having Windows, Linux, Mac. There are different type of operating systems. Whenever we are using power off, might be in Windows we are using this with different name like power. Might be we are using this power off in the Linux. Might be we are using some other name for the power off in the Macintosh also. So we are using power off, that is a generic name that may be different in the different operating systems. Okay. So here we are discussing the example of the system call, how a system call could work for you. System call sequence to copy the contents of one file to another file. You are just writing a command for copy. Then after that command, whenever you are executing that command, so what will be happening in the system? You will be directed to so many intermediate operations, but it will not be visible to you. It will be internal to the operation.